Feds charge extremist Jewish sect with exploiting and kidnapping children. So shouts out to the U.S. Feds for some justice.
Yay!
United States federal authorities filed charges of child exploitation and abduction against an extremist Jewish sect known as the Lev Tahor group, also known as the quote-unquote Jewish Taliban. The charges leveled against the 5 leaders within the Lev Tahor group were related to the forced marriage of the same child bride in 2017 and her kidnapping, along with her younger brother in 2018. These charges were announced by the FBI and an attorney for the Southern District of New York. The abducted children's mother managed to break free from the group after her brother forced her then 12-year-old daughter to marry an 18-year-old man of the community for procreation. Police said that the kidnappers led the children through several states with disguises until they ended up in Mexico. That is where the children were recovered and returned to New York within 3 weeks. Then Lev Tahor tried to kidnap them again, twice. A Justice Department press release explains that child brides in the Lev Tahor community are forced to have sex with their husbands and lie about their marriage. As of 2017, members of the Lev Tahor group were living in Chiapas, Mexico.
Oh, wow. Rivka, do you know much about this group?
I had heard about them. I didn't know all the mishigas or crazy stuff that's going on with them to the degree that this is happening. I mean, Lev Tahor means pure heart. It's not been around that long. I think like late 70s or 80s was when it was started by a rabbi named Shlomo Helbrantz. He mysteriously drowned in Mexico. His son Nachman runs it. You know, there's all kinds of allegations here that not just the kidnapping and the child marriage, there's been allegations of, forcing them to take antipsychotic drugs. There's been allegations of beatings, of, physical child abuse, of neglect, all kinds of things. Lev Tahor claims that they're persecuted. This was started in Israel, this group, and they have been on basically a world trek to get away from their supposed persecution for being I don't know if we're allowed to say this word, Z-ists, but because of the algorithm, but they've had these allegations following them wherever they go. They went to New York, they went to Canada, they went to Mexico, and these allegations of child abuse, of child marriage have been following them wherever they go. And I know that their leader got refugee status in Canada through some supposed not so truthful means. So it's really
insane.
Right. It's really crazy.
Hey guys, if you're a fan of blasphemy and sexy Kali, like me, then that means that you probably want more blasphemous art. Well, I have good news for you. If you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description below, then you get a free booklet of some of the tastiest blasphemous art available today. So, if you want some of this delicious blasphemy, and we're so generous that we update it for you guys weekly for free, all you have to do is sign up for our newsletter below. You can also go to blasphemousart.com/ebook. That's blasphemousart.com/ebook. Sign up with your email, and you get free gifts of this tasty blasphemy. What could be better? So make sure you sign up. Link below.
And the other thing about them is the women wear like what basically could be a chador or an abaya, very similar to
this
Persian.
Woman right here, if you look on my screen, it looks like she has a niqab on. Look at this little girl too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, see, look at it.
They don't wear it. They drop the cloth over their face. It's very similar to
like they don't even have the slit.
an abaya or a shador. But the thing that you need to know is like they put those on the girls starting at age 3.
That's insane.
And part of their breakaway from other Haredi sects is their extreme, even more so than other Haredi sects, focus on modesty. They themselves, one of the spokesmen says, that they want to go backwards. They think that this was the original Judaism, that it's purer, and that they're, of course, they're doing the right thing. And again, they say they're being persecuted, particularly by the government of Israel. I mean, there are stories of, infiltration, of Mossad, we're afraid of Mossad's going to shoot us, all these ridiculous allegations. Because as far as the being persecuted, there's many other sects who have I don't know. Am I allowed to say that word? Starts with a Z. I don't know what the rules are here.
I don't know what the rules are anymore either. So
Well, yeah,
I think you could say that one.
anti-Zionist. There are plenty others that are, and if people are wondering where that comes from, there are sects that believe that the state is illegitimate because there's no state of Israel without the Mashiach, the Messiah. Like only God can enter, start this. So, but yeah, they are also, I mean, they're transporting children across state and international borders to protect this, horrific child marriage that they do. And they're not that big of a group either. Also, it needs to be said, they're not that large. But they have very much influence over their followers. And the thing with the women too, their whole thing is just to prepare to be mothers, have a lot of kids. There's some women in that sect I read about that have 18 children.
Oh my God.
And they live in, like a 2-bedroom house kind of thing. So, and that was also part of the charges by the Quebecis was, just squalor, neglect. So they're really, really cultish, even more so, and very insular. And they're just, looking for a country that they can keep doing these horrific things in. And they just keep moving from one to the other.
Their women look like Chadori women in Iran.
It's wild. Yeah.
That's
Armin,
that's exactly what I said.
This is like full, like this is, I mean, I know like other religions have head coverings like Islam, like Zoroastrianism has head covering, Jewish women have head coverings, Christian women have head coverings, like religious, but I've never seen a head covering that looks like hijab so closely. Like I've never seen anything. This is basically what their religious. The only difference is that there's something covering their face. It's worse than actually in Iran. Okay, so in Iran, most women don't wear the chador. Like most women wear
the
like.
chador looks more like this.
Yeah, but look, no, but you see, even her, she has something that is going to fall on her face. You see that thing on top of her head? That is supposed to fall to cover her face. How do they walk without falling? Can you click on that picture where all their faces were covered? Like that one?
I think that some of that is to cover perhaps even for the photograph, because I've seen pictures of Iranian women with the same, they'll pull the chador over their face.
No, not really.
I've seen photos like that of so older ones. So, but these women, in a lot of the accounts that I've read, and then there's several videos and, kind of documentaries, investigative reportage. All the women have refused to be, many of them, not all, I should say, many of them refuse to be seen on camera. They also, in several of them, seem to stage some events specifically to show people, look, there's nothing wrong here. We just, do these nice things and we study our religion. And there's been a couple of those that seemed staged they brought people in, look at, here's what we teach the girls. One of
Right.
them was in Quebec, making sure that people knew they were getting secular education, but it seems pretty apparent it was staged for the benefit of the reporters.
All right, I want to. How do you? Yeah. Okay. Here. Let me actually show you guys this. Can you go back to my screen?
Here you go.
There we go. Okay. So in Iran, this is the way that non-religious women wear their hijab, and this is the way religious women wear their hijab. Okay. So, and yeah, they're both hijab. The people say like, "Oh no, this is hijab. This is not hijab." No, hijab is an
No.
umbrella term for all of them. People like, "Oh no, we don't understand." Like, no, you don't understand. Anyways, they're both hijab. This is a more like some person that is putting her hijab on reluctantly and is trying to make it the hijab as invisible as possible. Oh, look at her. She's looking at her so judgmentally too. Like, look at you. You're
Look
not
at all
being
that
as well."
hair showing.
Oh my god. So look at it's so judgmental. Anyways, but even the most religious women in Iran, they don't cover their face. They don't cover their face, and yet you go to this ultra orthodox. This is so bizarre. I've never seen it covering
And
like
look
this.
at how young the girls are that have their face covered.
Yeah, but
They're
I've never
tiny.
seen. Oh, can I say something? I'm just saying that I've never seen covering that is so close to the religious covering in Iran. Like, this is my first time seeing this from a in Jewish community. The only difference is the part that makes it worse. Again, I'm assuming that these are see-through, or else it would be keeping like, no. Look at her, so sad. Look at this. The girl that is at the front. You know that they're not see-through enough. Yeah, that, because she's like lifting it to look at something. That means that it's not easy to see through it. What a horrible life. This should be. Is this in the United States? This should be child
Some of
abuse.
them.
This should be illegal. This should be
Stay-
illegal. This is child abuse.
They're in the United States. They're in New York. They've been in Quebec. They've been in Ontario. They've been in Guatemala. They apparently got kicked out of Guatemala. The community around them, I think the Jewish community and also the indigenous community, was like, you guys got to go. But what's interesting is there was a photo, and I don't know if it's doctored, and I'm going to try and find it. If I can find it, I don't know if I can, but there's a photo that I saw going around the internet years ago that was the Mellah, the Jewish quarter in I believe a Middle Eastern country. It could have been Eastern Europe, like Sarajevo or someplace like that, where there's women walking down the street wearing similar, that some, according to this photo and the text that went with it, were actually Jews. So I don't know whether that's the case. I have never experienced this, even in my own experiences and my own being around very extreme, Haredis, like even some of the Satmar sect in New York, where the women don't drive and things like that. I've never seen particularly this type, although I did see that photo previously, and again, it looks very much like some of the Persian chador. But the modesty thing for women, which is part of why they even left some of these other Haredi sects, because their concept of modesty is even more extreme. And remember, I said that these girls are wearing this from the age of 3. And what's really interesting,
sorry, look at this baby in the corner. Like, it almost looks like they tried to tie something around this baby's face. I can't tell if she's tangled up in something on
I think she's
her mother's
tangled up. There's
drawer.
no way
Yeah.
they're gonna put that. No, I think she's tangled up. There's no way they're gonna put that
but
on
they
the baby.
do put these on starting at the age of 3. I've seen photographs and videos of very young girls wearing this dark fabric, covering.
All right, Rivka,
What's
okay.
interesting is the men dress like Eastern European Jews from Poland, like Hasids, but the women wear
Bring
this
it back.
very Iranian type garb.
Bring it back, Susanna. I needed to. Rivka, we need to move on, and I wanted to highlight something. Yeah. So look at how horrible this is and what a horrible childhood this is going to be. And look at this idiot in the live chat, Born Star. Okay. Look, imagine growing up like this. Imagine being covered all the time like this. Imagine all like being able, not being able to choose your clothes, being always black, having your eyesight completely covered, being always in the dark when you're outside, not being able to experience the wind in your hair, sunshine on your skin. And this person is saying it's not child abuse, it's just a piece of cloth. And look at this idiot. Like, it's a piece of clothing, you guys. You're overreacting. Born Star, you're a moron. You're a moron of today. Okay, so we're gonna highlight you as a moron for today. It's a piece of cloth. It's not child abuse. It's just a piece of cloth. You know, you can hang somebody with a piece of cloth, right? Just because it's a piece of cloth, that doesn't mean that you can make someone's life miserable with it, you idiot. This is your own personal hell. This is you carry your jail with you wherever you go. Imagine growing up like this. This is your childhood, and this idiot in the live chat thinks this is not child abuse. Born Star, congratulations. You're the idiot of today.
And congratulations to the FBI and all authorities for cracking down on this crazy extremist child abusing, child R-ing, dogmatic totalitarian sect. And I hope the feds rain down even more charges on y'all. And
ditto. I second that.
Yeah.
Yes, me too.
Hey guys, YouTube has fully demonetized our channel for supposedly hateful and harmful conduct, without telling us what we did wrong. If we get to 1,000 patrons, we will be able to keep paying all our team, our editors, our artists, without ever having to worry about monetization again, which would be amazing. Yay! So please support Atheist Republic on Patreon. Link in the description below.